Robyn twisted the entire situation into us supposedly shunning her. She turned it around and positioned herself as the victim. Whatever mental gymnastics she performs, she took the situation, turned it around, and managed to frame herself as the one who was wronged. But let's be clear, she was the catalyst for everything that came next. And how was that? She politicized COVID, utilized it as a reason to isolate, to bifurcate, and then flipped on us again to pin the bad guy label on us. All we did do was say, fine, we'll just go do our own thing. But as soon as we stopped engaging, as soon as we stopped giving a care, she could no longer play victim. That's the truth. We took a step back. We let go. We did not want to fight. And that's when everything started falling apart for her. Robyn could not stand not being in control of our feelings, not having that power over our lives. And that's why I am finished. I do not want anything to do with her. I have moved on. Now, however, Robyn's upset because the one thing she thrived on years ago, our attention, is taken away. It's as if we're all walking around telling her, you know what, Robyn? You can have him. We're finished. We're adults now. We don't require a daddy who can't get here. We've grown up. And we've grown out of this. I'm going to say something to you, and honestly, you won't be surprised. Robyn Brown, she's not driven by altruism. The Sister Wives audience figured out what she was doing seasons ago, and by season 18, Garrison and his siblings weren't messing around anymore. They had all figured out how Robyn works, and they made her understand that they weren't going along. Garrison? He basically said, here, Robyn, here's our dad. You win. We're good. Now let me be serious for a moment. Kody and Robyn's on-screen reaction to hearing the news about Garrison's death? It's been jarring. The language they're employing is right, but the atmosphere, the gestures, that they're still detached from the rest of the family members, it says something entirely different. Robyn and Kody are trying to apply Garrison's death as a way of rehabilitating their character, to initiate a redemption arc, but it is not working. Fans can see it, and they're not fine with it. If anything, it's enraging them. Robyn said a couple things on their pilgrimage to Wyoming that got my spidey senses tingling, and it made me feel like Robyn just may be actively interfering with any chance of reconciliation between Kody and the rest of his children. Up until Thanksgiving, I would call Dad about advice I needed. But no, I still miss Aurora though. Yeah. I miss dating and I want to amend my relationship with my siblings. Are you guys going to do? I'm going to try, but if Robyn's there, I don't give would you do a face-to-face conversation with her and the kids? Oh, you wouldn't. It would not be good. I don't have the emotional maturity to do a face-to-face with her. She'd probably manipulate us or start crying. We in the Sister Wives community have kind of been operating a little haphazardly this past year and a half. At least that's how I felt. This terrible tragedy happens with Garrison, and no one wants to outright point fingers of blame. But at the same time, it seems disrespectful to Garrison's legacy to ignore where Garrison's relationship with his dad and Robyn was at the time of his death. The honest truth is, Garrison didn't have a relationship with his dad. He had given up on having one because he was exhausted at how much effort it took to constantly plate Robyn. And Garrison didn't want to have a relationship with Robyn. And in a perfect world, he shouldn't have had to have a relationship with Robyn in order to have a relationship with his dad. Real talk, it bothered a lot of us in the Sister Wives community. The thought of Garrison being Kody and Robyn's passenger on the way to Wyoming. Since we never saw them physically in the car with an earned DNA tested to be Garrison, I am choosing to believe that that was a made-up storyline. If I am any of Garrison's siblings, it would be over my dead body that Garrison would travel to Wyoming with Kody and Robyn. Seriously, you guys, I'm not a violent person, but I would throw hands over that. In my opinion, with where Kody's relationship was at with Garrison, he should have been grateful for an invitation to the funeral. Him co-opting this tragedy, referring to Garrison as his boy, wanting to put him in the ground, taking ownership over his remains, it just feels performative, especially given the fact that Kody has not course-corrected whatsoever with his relationship with his other children. Now, I'm no body language expert, but from studying how Saul's body language has been, I don't think Kody has a good relationship with Robyn's boys either. Saul looks like he'd rather be having a root canal than participating in all the family fun time. Scenes that they filmed for season 19. I honestly don't think that Kody has much of a relationship with Saul or Dayton, and I think he only pays deference to Robyn's girls because they treat him like this knight and shining armor that he wishes he was. Somebody on Reddit very bravely shared their firsthand experience with attempting to choose out, and I will link that thread so you can read it fully. They wrote something that I feel is a really good point that's getting lost in all of this chat about Kody and Robyn and how they're behaving with this pilgrimage to Wyoming. The Redditor wrote, "All of that said, it was made clear in previous seasons how Garrison felt about Robyn. He did feel like she broke up the family and robbed him of time with his father, which was heartbreaking to him. Clearly, even if she didn't, in my opinion, directly cause Garrison's death, I do think it was profoundly self-absorbed and tasteless of her to perhaps center herself so much throughout those 2 episodes. I think it mainly disturbs me that she had any involvement at all, much less that Garrison's final resting journey consisted of him being taken by his father's new family up to Wyoming. I just get the feeling Garrison wouldn't have wanted that. It seemed like something Kody wanted for Kody to cope more than anything, which I get as a parent, because I can't imagine losing my own child. But I just really hope if my mental health ever does end my life, that my own post-mortem wishes would be respected. I'm not sure Garrison's weren't, but the whole ordeal seemed to be more about what Kody and Robyn wanted than what Garrison would have wanted. Not only did I feel like this whole pilgrimage would have been the literal last thing Garrison would have wanted, but I couldn't help but get a bad vibe with certain things Robyn said about her concern about Kody's potential reaction at this upcoming graveside burial. I am worried about Kody during the graveside and how he'll handle it, but I'm also really worried about afterwards. I've seen him grieving. I've held space for him while he's grieving. We've grieved together. It doesn't ever really go away. You know, sometimes a death can really change a person. I feel like the graveside service will be very sad. It's bitter that we're laying him to rest, but it's also because we love him. And I mean, that day is about him. So Robyn is basically saying that Kody's grief has been sort of unpredictable, and she's concerned about what is going to happen at this graveside burial. But Robyn's also worried about afterwards, when the entire family is gathered in grief and mourning and presumably consoling each other, and maybe Kody might want to be embraced by his other children. Robyn is all for Lauren as she looks off camera, and she reveals that sometimes death can change a person. Why are you worried about that, Robyn? What exactly are you worried about changing in Kody? Are you worried him being around his kids in the thick of grief will spark something in him to wave a white flag, extend an olive branch towards reconciliation? Because by Robyn's own admission on the show, she's been going through hard times with Kody these past few years, as all of his other wives have left him. They've talked about how all of Kody's drama has affected their marriage. Kody being difficult to live with would not be brand new for Robyn, but Kody reconciling with his children might be dangerous for Robyn. I truly wonder what Robyn considers a healthy way to grieve, because staying estranged from your surviving children and performatively digging a grave does not sound like healthy grieving to me. If the day was truly about Garrison, Kody would not have dug a grave for whatever it is that is being teased in this upcoming episode. Robyn openly wondering if Garrison's death is going to change. Cozy was a big oopsie that she let slip, in my opinion. Robyn doesn't want Garrison's death to change Kody, and it looks like so far, a year and a half after his passing, Robyn is getting her way. It doesn't look like Garrison's death has changed Kody at all. What I wonder is, what role did Robyn play in ensuring that Kody stayed estranged from his children? I believe she is very badly motivated, and I believe that if Robyn wasn't part of the equation, there may have been a path towards reconciliation for Kody, but Kody is just so stupid that he doesn't see the blatant manipulation happening right in front of his eyes. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel.